This is Left to Die, Book 1 in the Adele Sharp Mystery Series, written by Blake Pierce, narrated by Abigail Reno. Chapter 1. 29, 28, 27. The numbers played through Adele's mind like grains of hot sand slipping through an hourglass. She shifted uncomfortably, adjusting the neck pillow she'd purchased at the Central Wisconsin airport. She pressed her forehead against the cold glass of the Boeing 737, her gaze tracing the jutting wing stabilizers, and then flicking across the patches of clouds scattered across the otherwise blue horizon. How many times had she stared out of a plane window like this? Too many to count. 26, 25. Why had he stopped at 25? Adele closed her eyes again, trying to push the thoughts from her like pus from a wound. She needed her sleep. Angus would be waiting for her back home. It wouldn't do to show up baggy-eyed and frazzled, especially not with what she guessed he had planned for tonight. The thought of her boyfriend drove some of the worries from her, and a small smile teased its way from her lips, hovering in a lopsided fashion. She half glanced through hooded eyes down at her left hand. Adele wasn't much one for jewelry, but her fingers seemed particularly bare. At 32, she had half hoped, in a small concealed part of her, that at least her ring finger would have been occupied by now. Soon, if Jessica's texts were to be believed, and the cryptic nature of Angus's last call, soon her hand wouldn't be so bare. She smiled again. Why had he stopped at 25? Her smile became fixed as the thought interjected itself once more. She almost reached for the briefcase she had stowed under her seat, but then exhaled deeply through her nose, her nostrils flaring as she attempted to calm herself. She needed sleep now. The case could wait. But could it really? He'd stopped at 25. The Benjamin Killer was what they were calling him, after the story of Benjamin Button, a crass, gauche moniker for a vicious murderer. He killed them based on age. Gender, looks, ethnicity didn't matter to him. He had started with that 29-year-old man, a middle school coach only a few years younger than Adele. The next was a woman with blonde hair and green eyes, just like Adele. It had stuck with Adele when she'd first seen the woman's photographs. She'd worked with the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?